There we go. I don't know. I don't know. It's technology. It's going to screw up. Welcome back, JE Live. We kind of don't have a schedule on this. We just do it whenever we feel like. Happy to have you guys back in here. We had some news in a dead period in the off season. By dead, I mean it's so dead that you literally can hear that pin drop that everyone talks about. You know, the proverbial pin. But hear me out. We learned some things, right? We learned first off earlier today, if you're a Rams fan, Chris Long, former Ram, decided to invite Andrew Whitworth, who is a current Ram, onto his Green Light podcast, I want to say. Might have butchered that, but on his podcast, no less. And Whitworth dropped some knowledge. And by that, I mean he dropped some breaking news. At least that's how I took it. Andrew Whitworth has basically come out and has addressed his retirement, first off. So he's not retiring this year, but there's a chance that he could end up retiring next year. It sounded like his words, it sounded to me like he was retiring next year. This is probably it. But interestingly enough, a lot of people have been talking about the uniforms. And I mean, come on, they're cosmetic. Like you see them, you're going to see 17 games of them. So, I mean, I understand. So, which uniforms are the Rams going to go with? Well, according to Mr. Whitworth, who was on Chris Long's podcast, sure sounds like they're going to go with yellow. And I'm not just saying that, kind of trying to, pick what he's trying to talk about. I mean, he literally came out and said, yeah, it's a yellowish, kind of like the old school throwbacks. Not entirely a quote, but you get what I'm saying. I'm paraphrasing essentially. So if you guys are wondering what the throwbacks are, they're the 1951 championship uniforms that the Rams wore when they won the 1951 championship. Yes, it didn't count as a Super Bowl, so for whatever reason, a bunch of nimrods out there decided it didn't count. I don't know. You win championships back then, it didn't matter. So anyway, so that's going to be likely that type of color. Not really a highlighter yellow. I know a lot of people say, the neon yellow. That's not going to be the case. It's probably going to be more like their orangey yellow type of look from their logo. So that's what you can expect. Thank you, Wyatt. Appreciate you, my guy over on Facebook. Glad to see you coming over onto YouTube to see me. Steven, how we doing? I'm pretty good this evening. How about you? Kellen, how we doing? What's the deal? Somebody on Earth? I don't know what that means, but it's Kellen, so I'm sure it means something. Eric, how we doing? Aiden, how's it going? Welcome. So, yeah, the reason I brought you guys here tonight is because I want to interact with you guys. That's the dumbest, why the hell would I even say that? But anyway, there's another reason, of course. And the reason I brought you guys here tonight is because if you clicked on it, you're probably interested in the Rams in some facet. And as you know, this channel has kind of been taken over by Rams content. And as you know, I've said, during the NFL season, I'm going to try to do literally everything I can to give you guys the best Rams experience possible while also putting out NFL content, MCU content, and gaming, which I think is all going to go very well. I love the trajectory of this channel. I'm going to keep going, so don't worry about that. But the reason I brought you guys here is it's in the title. So you guys probably already know Andrew Whitworth is not going to play forever. So if he doesn't retire next year, it will be soon. And if he doesn't retire next year, there's no guarantee that's with the Rams. Well, first off, let's just check this right off the box that somebody is going to ask me a question in regards to this. Andrew Whitworth's deal is entirely nullified once he retires. The Rams would get that $13 million back onto their salary cap. That would not go to Andrew Whitworth, so don't worry about that. However, what I will say is that once Whitworth is gone, and it's gonna hurt because Whitworth is still a top 5 offensive tackle. He's still got onto my top 100 list, that I'm doing. But the fact of the matter is, I think we need to talk about who's going to take over for him. And it may not be this year, and hopefully it's not, because that would mean he went down with injury. But it's likely going to be next year. And the guy that I'm going to say is probably going to shock you, but I'm really leaning towards former 7th round pick out of Clemson, Tremaine Anchrum. If you guys don't actually recognize him, he is on the thumbnail. He's the guy on the right. If you guys didn't see the thumbnail, well, surprise, it's Tremaine Anchrum. So I understand this is kind of contradicting to how much I like Joseph Noteboom. I've interviewed both of them, so it's not like there's a bias over one or the other. I like them both. But I do feel like the fact Noteboom is not playing left guard and the fact that David Edwards is less to do with the fact that Noteboom is being waited on to play tackle, because when you looked, he wasn't horrible at guard. And it has more to do with the fact I think they have their backup, their go-to left tackle of the future. Look, when Andrew Whitworth went down, or not even went down, right? Well, yeah, he went down and Noteboom took over. So, Jake, what the hell are you why are you telling me this? Clearly you're out of your gourd. Hold on a second there, though, because during those days off, when Whitworth was healthy, those veteran days off, who was taking the snaps? None other than 7th-round rookie Tremaine Anchrum. That tells me all I need to know. And the way they talk about him, they love him. They use him by name all the time. When Sean McVay is mentioning you by name, you listen. And so when Tremaine Anchram's getting mentioned, you can play all 5 positions. He's the guy, scouts have talked about. Ram scouts I know of. They talk about the fact that this is somebody who, he goes to, they go to scout him at Clemson, and they're hearing about this Tremaine Anchrum guy, and they're thinking he's going to be 6'5" and 310 pounds and look the part. He doesn't. And he's actually the 6'2" guy that's kicking everyone's butt, who the 6'5" guy is sitting over there and watching. Size is not everything, and size is not a skill, and size doesn't always matter. The size is the reason that it's the reason that Aaron Donald fell to 13th overall in the first place, and he might end up being the greatest player of all time. So, that's what I say to size. But the thing here, this is what I keep thinking of, is that Anchrum kind of reminds me a little bit of Isaiah Wynn. If you guys don't remember, the Rams traded their 23rd overall pick, which ended up becoming Isaiah Wynn, in exchange to the Patriots for Brandon Cooks. I also interviewed Isaiah Wynn, so I guess I'm just interviewing offensive linemen like crazy. But my point here is that Isaiah Wynn's biggest knock is that he wasn't the tallest and he didn't have the longest arms. And it's kind of like Tremaine Anchrum, but are you worried about it if the guy can produce? And honestly, I am not. Tremaine Anchrum would be fighting against Bobby Evans, who might honestly be groomed to take over the right tackle position, and Joseph Noteboom. But hear me out, guys. These guys have been with the Rams for a bit now. Contracts are coming up. Joseph Noteboom is coming up on a contract year. Bobby Evans soon after. That's the problem, is that it was a good problem to have. You have Havenstein and you have Whitworth for the foreseeable future there, but now you just basically had these guys on a rookie deal, and you didn't really get a ton of value out of that. However, Anchrum is in his 2nd season and probably might have an opportunity to come in and be a guy that can take over if an Evans struggles or Andrews struggles, just to get him involved. Sorry, Edwards. Excuse me. But that's something to keep in mind, and I'm going to keep bringing that up. Now, I'm going to take a look. You guys are probably talking here. As long as they don't bring back the jerseys that make them look like Megamind, I'm good. Yeah, Aiden, I agree. Bobby Evans would be pretty cool. LT, says Wyatt. But I think we're going to sign another vet, take a spot, or make a sneaky trade for one. Steven says, I thought Noteboom would be his replacement. What's up, Henry? How we doing? I've been watching Whitworth since he was in Cincinnati, so it's going to be hard not seeing him. Yeah, I hear you, Whitworth is awesome. He does it the right way. He's a pro's pro, as Sean McVay would put it. But, obviously there's always an end to the journey. And hopefully the Rams send Andrew Whitworth out on a good note, winning a Super Bowl. Thank you so much for subscribing, Jason. Appreciate you. Hopefully they do that. I'm not guaranteeing they do, except for the fact I predicted it, but predicting is not a guarantee. I don't guarantee anybody wins the Super Bowl, but I do think the Rams will win the Super Bowl. I just can't guarantee it. There's a difference. But I do think that Tremaine Anchram's a guy that we really need to start keeping an eye on. The coaches have been telling us slowly but surely. They've been telling us how they feel about him. And quite honestly, I've been a fan of his. When they drafted him in the 7th round, I was surprised he was still there. It's the guy who was at the Senior Bowl. You know, and he played in, you know, huge games with Clemson. I don't really understand how he fell, to be honest with you, but I kind of feel like he's going to be a left tackle. And if it's Noteboom, it's Noteboom. And I wouldn't mind that. But I think they really have a potential top-notch tackle in Anchrum. I really think he's going to be good. I really do. Any insight on Melvin Ingram or Stephon Gilmore signing? If so, Super Bowl contenders. Well, so Jason, welcome to the channel. I absolutely do think that they're Super Bowl contenders because I do have them playing the Chargers in the Super Bowl. Yes, all LA Super Bowl. As far as insight on Melvin Ingram or Stephon Gilmore, I don't think that they're going to go after Gilmore. Ingram is up in the air. I'm not going to say that they won't go after him. Justin Houston's also available. If they go with a corner, keep your eye out on a guy that has familiarity with defensive coordinator Raheem Morris, and that is Brian Poole. So that's a guy to keep in mind. He's one of the best nickels you've probably never heard of. And on top of that, he played like a top 15 corner last year. Very underrated. He's 28 years old. That's the guy I'm going after because you can sign him for cheap in free agency. He's coming off a collarbone injury, and that's probably why teams are waiting on him. But he would definitely be a nice move, very similar to the move the Rams made back in 2017 when they went out and they got Nickel Roby-Coleman. Like very late in the process too, and they got him for the veteran minimum or just about. The only thing stopping the Rams is a guy by the name of Thomas Edward Brady. I don't know. He didn't stop him last year. The Rams had his number. Biggest confidence in Noteboom. I like Noteboom, so I mean, like I said, you know, as long as they bring him back, he'll have an opportunity. But they are going to have to, if they don't see what they, you know, I think I would assume that they haven't ruled anybody out that's still on the roster because they could have had an opportunity as the offensive line coach in Kevin Carberry, who literally coached 3 guys from that offensive line, you know, at Stanford. 3 guys. They had an opportunity to grab all 3 of them in the draft in some facet, and they chose not to. Drew Dahlman was a shock to me, but that tells you all you need to know. Offensive line coach comes in, sees what he likes, and he's like, all right, we're good. We don't have to make any changes. And these guys are better than what the mainstream media and social media will have you think. I will say that over and over and over again. If this is a top 10 unit again, will not be shocked. Just looked up Tremaine. Okay. YT and saw the dude who reposted your interview with him. Oh yeah. that was funny. I appreciate, you know, him dropping that because, you know, I don't know, it shows that he saw the video and he thought it was cool enough to post, but like he didn't give us any credit. And I was just like I don't know, that's kind of stealing. Anyway, y'all can get a good tackle in the first round. Wait. Nice, Aiden. Let's see. We got some people in the Discord. Guys, be sure if you like the Rams, you like the MCU, if you like horror movies, if you like me, be sure to join my Discord. We kind of combined it with the Downtown Rams Discord, so it's grown ever since. And right now we're up to over 200, close to 240 people in there. So if you're interested, there is the link. That's the Discord. It's a great community. I love every single one of them, just like I love every single one of you. I just love them a little bit more. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, join in. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions, just feel free to holler. I'm here to answer questions and whatnot. I just wanted to, give my start and my thoughts on Noteboom and Anchrum and what comes after Whitworth. As far as that goes, I mean, I think really what you're looking at, it's going to be between Noteboom, Evans, and Anchrum. I don't think there's any, guy that's kind of on the outside looking at. I mean, you could argue Alaric Jackson. They had a draftable grade on him. He's the UDFA. They paid him the most. That's a guy to keep in mind. He comes from Iowa. Love Iowa tackles. Wasn't the highest on him initially. Went back, watched the film. he's pretty solid. I would have given him a draftable grade. Redoing it, I had him actually, being undrafted, but looking back, I'd probably give him like a late 7th round. He's a developmental guy, so you like the size there. Obviously, wish he moved a little more, with more suddenness, I guess. But he can get a little stuck in his ways, for lack of a better term, and he's another name, Maximilian Percher. I mean, we'll see how his development goes. The guy that they got from Italy, due to I call it the NFL foreign exchange program. I don't really know what to call it. I always forget what it's called, but basically you get another guy in the practice squad who you get to keep. You can't cut him, and you don't have to cut him. So it's like a free player on your practice squad. And if you bring him to the 53-man roster, you can do that. And if you drop him, he goes right back on the practice squad. So if you guys remember Christian Wade, I think from UK, the running back for the Bills, yep, same thing. So you'll start to see that more and more, I think. I just brought up Alaric Jackson. I don't know if that was before I said that or not, but that's funny. Who was the last highest draft choice? Who was success at left tackle? Been a long time. Are you talking about the Rams? Because it's been a long time. I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that. I know, like Saffold was drafted as a tackle, but he ended up succeeding at guard. Greg Robinson was a total utter bust. Jason Smith was a total utter bust. The Rams don't do well drafting tackles. No, it would have to be Orlando Pace. I mean, that's the best. I mean, that's the most recent I can think of, unless you guys have any ideas, because they got guys like Alex Barron that did nothing. So I would probably say it's Orlando Pace by default. What will Noteboom contract look like? That's a good question. I mean, let's pull up his contract right now, and see where we're at, because then that's what it's going to come down to. If Joe Noteboom, if he wants a lot of money, I don't know if the Rams can justify that. He's in his contract year. Look, he got a rookie deal. Obviously, that comes with it. It's all, calculated and everything. I would have to imagine he'd be at least $4 million per year at this point, which the Rams can afford. I mean, that's not anything too crazy, but it's not a guarantee. It's not a foregone conclusion that he's necessarily back. Like I said, he's going to be a free agent, unrestricted free agent in 2022. The way I see it is this. Noteboom is sitting there at 26 years old. Okay, he's going to be a free agent at 27. That probably benefits the Rams in some facet, because he was an older rookie at 23 years old, wasn't like a 21-year-old. Then you'd be talking about 25, could, ask for more. But here's the thing, at 27, I mean, he's in his prime, but there's just not a ton there to justify that. I mean, if I'm him, I try to sign a 1-year prove-it deal with the Rams and see if I can win a starting role, and then if I do, I cash in. But maybe he wants, stability. And if he wants stability, he probably signs, a 4-year deal worth $20 million, with like $8 million guaranteed or something. But it's hard to tell exactly, because Noteboom just hasn't played enough. You don't know exactly what you're getting. The sample size is very, very small. So there's that. Holden, I see you over on Facebook. What's up? Thoughts on special teams this year? Well, I think Joe DeCamillis is pretty average to slightly above average special team coordinator. I think he's going to bring a solid special teams. I think they'll be a lot better than last year. Really don't know what they were doing getting that guy last year. He's still in the organization, but not my favorite pickup. But yeah, I think he'll be solid. You have guys on that special teams unit like a Nick Scott. You have guys like Troy Reeder, Micah Kaiser. And then, of course, you'll probably have, a gunner or two out of, your crop currently. I think one of those guys we all know will probably be Jake Funk. Another one will probably be Jacob Harris. Two gunners, two guys that are really fast. They tested out of this world. So I think those will be your two gunners on special teams. If not, maybe Nick Scott. I know Nick Scott, I think at one point he was the personal protector for the punter. So that's, I think that's something there. The returner is probably going to be Tutu Atwell. I think they're going to try to force him into that role. But if not, take a look at, Otis Anderson, who I just did a video on. Take a look at him. Take a look at Raymond Calais if he makes the roster. But aside from that, there's not too many guys that I would suspect would return punts and kicks. I think you're kind of looking at just a small group there. Jeremiah Haydell, if he makes the roster, he's a good returner, great vision. That's somebody to keep in mind, but there's no way to know for sure. Okay, here, let's see. What's up, Rams 12th man? How we doing? I'd like to see Alaric Jackson during preseason. I heard the Rams are high on him. Noteboom had a good run last season. Anyway, you can franchise tag. If he plays well, you give him a contract. If he doesn't, you didn't sign him long term. I mean, that tag is going to be expensive there, Henry, because you have to keep in mind that's going to be what the average for an offensive tackle. I mean, let's look at the 2021 offensive tackle franchise tag, because the guy that got the tag was none other than Taylor Moton for Carolina, and he's damn good. He was definitely worth it. But yeah, they already have it. Projected 2022 franchise tag and transition tenders. So in 2022, you would have to franchise tag Noteboom at, they're projecting $16.9 million. I'm not doing that. And they can't. If they're going to franchise tag anyone, it'll be Darius Williams to keep him around, but that would still be $17.5 million for the year. That's rough. So I don't know if that could be done for even Darius Williams. It's not going to be done for Noteboom. What's up, Luke? How we doing? Yeah, it's the Rams would be in a predicament if they tag Noteboom. I like him just as much as anybody, but I'm not tagging him. There's no way. No, he's not getting 16. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, just kind of looking at, who would come off the books. I mean, right now the calculated market value for Darius Williams, according to Spotrac, is at 15.2. So if you were going to justify that, then I would definitely make the argument to tag him and then, set up a deal. With Austin Corbett, they have 8.8 million, which is saying a lot, but keep this in mind. Austin Corbett is he's already had more starting experience than Noteboom, and he's 25. And so he's a new 25. Like, he just turned 25. So he's in the driver's seat here. If they win a Super Bowl and he's the man at the center position, teams aren't going to care about any sort of analytical flaw that he has or anything. They will look at the fact he was the center, he was the guy that took a brand new quarterback, and he, was comfortable enough with the brand new quarterback and helped, lead the Rams to the Super Bowl. That is what teams are going to look at, and they're going to pay him out the wazoo. Right now, his market value is 4 years, $35 million, which would be the 14th highest paid center in the league. Kind of goes to show you, centers are starting to go off the board on a premium. But at the same time, Austin Blythe didn't get paid that much, so it makes you wonder, except the fact that Austin Blythe, I think, is either 29 or 30. When you have a guy who's in Austin Corbett, who just turned 25 with that experience and obviously the production, because he's a good center, you're going to get paid. Let's see. No bias at all. State your opinion on the Niners. I think they're the second best team in the NFC West. That's where I have them. And I think, despite what a lot of people are saying, how they'll stick with Jimmy Garoppolo, and then they'll move towards having Trey Lance as their quarterback halfway through the year. I think people are forgetting the fact that last year there was no preseason. So now that there's preseason, they'll get an opportunity to see Trey Lance throwing the football, and they will be like, all right, we can do a lot more of Trey Lance than we can do with Jimmy Garoppolo. I say let's go all in with Trey Lance now. Let's do it because, they're going to see preseason. This guy is not – he's not this NFL project people were making him out to be. I mean, he was calling his own plays at North Dakota State. We already went over this with Carson Wentz, okay? And Carson Wentz looked more NFL ready than Jared Goff did at Cal, okay? So it seems ridiculous to me that we're still doing this, but Trey Lance is NFL ready. I would start him over Jimmy Garoppolo tomorrow. I mean, easily. But you asked me my opinion on the Niners, so I'm going to give you my full opinion. I think they have a really good defense. Look, I understand Robert Saleh is gone, right? And you think, okay, like the witch is dead, right? Because he was the problem. Except that's not the case. You have to keep in mind of who he had behind him, who he was mentoring, and he was mentoring none other than former NFL linebacker with the Eagles and with the Texans, DeMeco Ryans. DeMeco Ryans is one of the better defensive minds, young defensive minds in football. He's taking over as the defensive coordinator. When you look at their defense, you see guys like Fred Warner who have, they went from third-round pick out of BYU to best linebacker in the league, in my opinion. I mean, here's the thing, is that the Niners, their issue has always been injuries. But, now they're going to be somewhat, they're definitely going to be more healthy than last year. Coming into this, though, I mean, they lost to Killer Witherspoon, who, by the way, had a great season last year, does not get enough credit for it, but they still have Dante Johnson. They drafted Ambry Thomas in the third round out of Michigan. They have Jason Verrett. If he stays healthy, he's a baller, and he's playing very well. Kwan Williams at nickel, I think they just signed Tony Jefferson. If Tony Jefferson finds himself, I mean, he was one of the best safeties in the league not long ago. On top of that, you have Dre Greenlaw, who they've gotten great production out of, 5th-round pick in 2019. You have Nick Bosa coming back. Keep in mind, last year they didn't have Nick Bosa. Now Javon Kinlaw is coming into another year. He was a little more raw than given credit for. Everyone remembers he blew up the Senior Bowl. They don't remember what happened before that. This guy has not been playing football that long, so he's raw. A little raw. He's going to come into his next year. They got Maurice Hurst, who, by the way, had a really good year last year, not talked about enough. D Ford, who they still have, and Arik Armstead, they made sure to sign long-term. On top of that, they still have Jaquiski Tart, who they brought back, and they have Jimmy Ward, their first-round pick from 2014. But when you look at their offense is very interesting because Trey Lance is going to make that engine move in a different way than Garoppolo. Garoppolo held your team back. And who did you have behind him? You had, I don't remember his name now, Nick Mullins, and you had CJ Beathard. Now you have Trey Lance, who actually can hurt you with his legs. And so I look at this, and I look at Trey Lance, and I look at Trey Sermon and Elijah Mitchell, and Raheem Mostert. They added Wayne Gallman in free agency, and I'm like, the Niners did a good job. On top of that, their offensive line, they added Alex Mack. They still have Trent Williams, who's probably the best left tackle in football. They have Laken Tomlinson. They have Mike McGlinchey. And by the way, Daniel Brunskill did very well last year against Aaron Donald, and he's a name that I would look at moving forward. On top of that, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. Maybe we finally get to see Jalen Hurd. He was a third-round pick in 2019, former running back at Tennessee, transferred to Baylor, became a wide receiver. Interested to see him. They added Mohamed Sanu in free agency. They added Austin Watkins via UDFA. And keep in mind, they have George Kittle. So that's a lot. And they're not on the Rams level, in my opinion. They're just not. Especially because there is a question mark at quarterback. I mean, I'm very high on him, but, you don't know what you have until you finally see what you have. So I know they added Samson Ebukam. I'm not exactly, scared about that. But it is interesting, the guys they added. I mean, they added Alex Barrett, who was a standout for the AAF. They added Arden Key. I mean, I remember when everyone was talking about Arden Key out of LSU as being like the next best pass rusher. So, they added him. Deshaun Hall was a standout at Texas A&M. They added Jordan Willis via trade last year. They kept him, and they have Zach Kerr. They've, like I said, they have an interesting roster. I didn't even mention Emmanuel Mosley, who played really well last year. So, we will see with them. We will definitely see. But they're number 2 in the NFC West, in my opinion. Let's see. Sorry, I went all off on a tangent there. Let's see. Who is a player that you hope doesn't leave and we are able to keep in our practice squad? Man, that's tough because, there are a few guys. I mean, I really like Raymond Calais, going out, and they get him after Tampa fails to bring him back and tries to sneak him on the practice squad. The Rams have done that many times. I like Raymond Calais. It's weird, but with everything going on, you have COVID and whatever else, because it just last year was such a mess, and they expanded the practice squads from what it sounds like they're going to expand to 16. If they do, I think the Rams should just keep all the quarterbacks they have in the building. I think that they should, keep Perkins and Devlin Hodges, maybe even keep Perkins on the roster if he's going to have that Taysom Hill role that, I keep hearing about. But that's kind of where I'm leaning there. I'd like to see another wide receiver kept, on the practice squad. I don't want to just roll with the 6 that everybody's assuming that will be there, because I do like Tristan Jackson, and I do think he was on the roster, the 53-man roster last year, for a reason. Be interested in keeping him. I would be interested in keeping Jeremiah Haydell. And on top of that, Jovan Grant from Merrimack, I think, is a solid developmental safety. Definitely would be interested in keeping him. And then, John Daka, the pass rusher, him, Max Roberts from Boston College, UDFA. I mean, I think he could potentially make the roster. He might be a surprise roster keep. And I think when the preseason gets going, you might be able to see him make something happen. But I definitely would want to try and keep him. And Alaric Jackson, yes. I saw that come up and I was like, oh yeah, of course. Let's see. So we got, what's the play, Jakey? I don't know. What's the play? What are you talking about, ADM? I'm a little bit late, but let's go. Another Jake stream. Thanks, Sanaka. Appreciate you. We're going to have so many of these that you'll be sick of me by the end of the year. Hopefully not, but we will have a lot of these. I'll just lay it out for you guys, for you Rams fans out there. This is going to be a Rams channel, but I'm also going to be doing other things. As you guys know, I've been pretty much doing my own thing. But the hope, I guess, is as the season rolls on, even when I'm not doing a Rams related content, like I get you guys in and we can talk, like even during a gaming stream, because I do those Ask Me Anythings, and like you guys can talk Rams while I game. Like I'm just trying to build the community up and be more, I'm more like innovative. I can't just do one thing. So as you guys know, I'm a busy body, busy mind, all of that. So you'll probably see that. But basically the plan for the season is I have a Downtown Rams podcast I do with my co-host Alexis Kraft. I have downtownrams.com, which right now is being managed by my guy Blaine Grisak, who you guys have seen 3 times, I think, 4 times maybe on here. Dan Gleason, who you guys saw if you watched the AJ show, he filled in for Adam, who's my cousin. Dan Gleason's taking over the fantasy football aspect of downtownrams.com. So we're going to have all sorts of Rams content coming your way from Downtown Rams, but on this channel as well. I'm going to be doing breakdowns of each game. I'm going to be doing a preview. I'm going to be doing a recap. We'll do a game day stream. We'll do a post game and a pregame stream. On top of that, we're going to do film breakdown. We're going to try and do that as much as we can. We're going to do, different things, calling it, like having different player videos, isolating different players, talking about who's breaking out, maybe even do a stock watch. I mean, guys, you guys are not ready. When I say this, you guys are not ready to see full on me in another season with this channel, because I'll tell you, I had about 200 subscribers in December when I put up the Wolford video. And then, like, not long after that, the Wolford Star Wars theme video, I had about 2,000. So, I mean, it's been an amazing trip. But the thing is, I started so late last year. I had this head start. I have you guys, you amazing people. I'm so hyped to see where this can go. I'm not going to stop. I mean, this is just going to keep going. We're like a runaway freight train, and I'm just really excited to share that all with you. So I figured I'd just mention that. Probably going to keep mentioning it because I'm really excited. I'm elated to bring you all that. Plus, I'm excited for the MCU content I'll be able to do. We'll have Eternals coming out by then. We'll have, Spider-Man, No Way Home. We'll have Multiverse of Madness next year. We have sponsorships coming. We'll have giveaways, sponsor giveaways. It's going to be a fun time on this channel. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and be a part of the fun. Thank you, ADM. I appreciate that. Love you too, by the way. Okay, so random thought. How about moving Havenstein to left tackle? The problem is Havenstein can't go up against speed rushers. Like, that is his Achilles heel. And so I just feel like if your Achilles heel is going up against speed rushers, I'd rather have you get beat by a speed rusher than I can see you on my right side than on my blind side. And so I don't think Havenstein in this climate could play on the left side. He's just not athletic enough. Any UDFAs? Actually, can I just say this? By the way, if you guys know basketball, the best way to put it, okay, is Havenstein is Avika. I'm pronouncing his name wrong. I think it's Avika Zubac, who used to play for the Lakers, because he gives you that like solidified position, right? Like, he can man the position. He's solid. But the fact of the matter is this: he is not athletic. He is a very lumbering type of player, and he only has so much upside. That is the best way I can put it with Rob Havenstein. Good player, but he's never going to be up top because he doesn't have the elite athleticism there. Any UDFAs you're really high on and think could make the 53-man roster this year? Great question, Jason. I look at Jovan Grant, if he gets an opportunity from Merrimack, is very intriguing to me. And the reason I say if he gets an opportunity is, look, they're 4 deep at safety. They have Juju Hughes, who actually spent time on the actual roster towards the end of the year. They have Paris Ford, who they paid more coming out of Pitt. I am not as high on him as some other people are, but I've been hearing good things about him. And they actually moved Jake Jervis to linebacker. So, I mean, he wouldn't be there anymore. But I think Jovan Grant, if they give him an opportunity, out of Merrimack, I think he could do something in preseason enough to potentially get on this roster. Potentially. He's going to have to kill it on special teams, though. Another guy I would probably say, Maximilian Roberts. Not Maximilian Percher, Maximilian Roberts, the pass rusher from Boston College. I definitely like him. And yeah, I mean, I'd probably leave it at that. I mean, I like Kareem Orr, but, I don't know if they're going to keep multiple corners, so that's probably where I would leave that. The Niners should rename themselves the Hospital. Oh boy. Thoughts on the Iowa offensive line UDFA that apparently bumped Tristan Wirfs across the line? Yeah, Lyric Jackson. I had a late round grade on him, late to undrafted grade on him. Has potential, not a guy that can just plug and play. I've been seeing some people saying that on social media. I can just tell you right now, Alaric Jackson isn't NFL ready. He's going to be a project in a sense. They're going to want to develop him. Just don't throw him at left tackle. That would be miserable. But I do like him. I think he's got some upside. Now that he's on the Rams, I like him, and the reason I say that is because now I know, what his fit is, where his role will be. When I'm talking about, scouting a guy like Alaric Jackson, before he even enters the draft, it's not a bias part on my part, for him being a Ram that I like him more. The fact of the matter is I'm scouting all these guys, what they can be in the NFL. And, when I'm scouting him, as opposed to when I'm scouting, a top-notch tackle like Penei Sewell, I go into every single, film watch as if I've never seen them before. That's why I don't watch a lot of college football, because I don't want any preconceived biases before I get to the tape during draft season. But the big thing for me is that I'm watching Alaric Jackson without anybody in my ear telling me he's trash or he's bad or he's cheeks or whatever they want to call him, because I'm immediately, I have a clean slate in my mind, and that's the thing. I'm going to watch him and see what he is. And to me, I felt like, in my opinion, there's some good things there. There's some tools, but he's not a starter, and I don't know if he ever will be. He could, but I don't know for sure if he will. Whereas Penei Sewell is a guaranteed starter. I had a generational grade on him. That was an easy one. But that took time. I had to watch both of them, and I didn't know anything about them because I don't want to listen to other people telling me how to scout or who's good or who's bad. That's why my boards vary from a lot of people, because I see things other people don't, and other people see things that I don't. Everybody's different. The only difference with some people and me is that even when I'm wrong, like, one, I'll admit it, and two, I'll have my own board. Like, just because your board comes out and then somebody has that, running back 2 that you have is like their running back 20, you don't need to change your board. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the best way I can put it. And, I again, late round pick on Alaric Jackson, but I hope he ends up working out. I like him a lot more now that he's on the Rams and I know his fit, instead of trying to, place him in a slot that I didn't really agree with. Like the stream, boys. Thank you, ADM. Do a roster prediction. Predict who will get cut or sent to the practice squad and who makes the team. Simple as that. Will do, Aiden. Will do. What is your hot surprise cut for the Rams? Well, it's funny because I came in thinking I was going to say David Long not long ago, but then all of a sudden they come out and they're like, yeah, we like David Long a lot and he's going to get a lot of opportunity. So probably not him. I don't know if there's a surprise cut. I think a lot of them are pretty easy to telegraph, but I guess, like, if I was to have to pick anybody gun to my head, it would probably be David Long. I'll probably stick by that. But I'm not 100% confident that will be the case. I just think when you have, the overall upside of a Robert Rochelle, you can go out and get Brian Poole. You have Dante Dion. If they like Kareem Moore or Bronte Harris, they could take over as well. On top of that, Terrell Burgess can play every spot in the secondary. Maybe you'll move Taylor Rapp to nickel. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different things where they wouldn't even need to have to rely on him. So if he doesn't make an impact and another guy outplays him, that would be my surprise cut. Not saying it will 100% happen, but that would be my surprise cut. Let's see here. I'm leaving this comment before Jake explodes this year. Thanks, Roy. Hey, Jake. Hope you're doing well. Late to the stream, but I am a big Noteboom fan to develop. Hit that like button, people. Thank you, Peo. Appreciate you. What do you think is going to happen with Fred Warner's brother safety that the Rams picked up? Good question, McCoy. I don't think he's going to make the roster, but maybe he'll make the practice squad. He's not Fred Warner. That's the best way I can put it. He's his own person. We'll see what he does. I don't have too much film work on him, so I can't really firmly say what he is. I can just, from a little bit that I've seen, he is not Fred Warner. I can tell you that. Y'all could sign Donald Penn. No, wait, he retired. You're funny because you'll literally say, like, your contradictory comment, you'll literally say everything in a sentence, Aiden. I love that about you. Any thoughts or takes on Chris Garrett? Yes, I like Chris Garrett a lot. This is somebody that's coming from D2. He dominated D2, but the problem is is that he outclassed them so much in, athleticism. I'm very high on him, as a developmental guy. Maybe he even gets in a little bit this year, but I don't know for sure what his role will be. I also think we should keep an eye on Ernest Brown the fourth. I did a video on him. I like him a lot more than I did, just like watching like highlights and stuff, after he was drafted, because I didn't have a chance to scout him. And really, it wasn't even the highlights, because I don't really like watching highlights. What I did is that I saw his testing and I saw that he ran like a 540. But then when I really put it into context, I'm like, well, when does a defensive end, when does an edge defender have to run 40 yards? I mean, unless you're Montez Sweat last year against the Rams, running down Cam Akers like a wildebeest, unless you're like that, like, you don't need to run 40 yards. So, I'm actually pretty intrigued by Ernest Brown. I'm not as high on him as other prospects that, I like as far as Robert Rochelle's concerned. I like him a lot more. I love Jacob Harris. It's weird because if anything changed during this draft, scouting, prospect, moment or whatever, I don't even know what I'm saying, but going back to the tape after guys were drafted, initially, like during the draft, my favorite draft pick ended up being Chris Garrett. My second favorite was Robert Rochelle. Now my favorite draft pick by far is Jacob Harris, because I think he offers something that I've been asking the Rams to go out and get for a long time now, because they had it once, and his name was Denari Alexander. He was a 6'5", ran a 4.4 wide receiver, played very similar to a Randy Moss. And I know what you guys are thinking, that's crazy, but hear me out. He had like 6 or 7 knee operations, and that's why he didn't end up being as great as he could have been. But when you look at Denari Alexander, what he gave the Rams in that short amount of time, and then what he gave Phillip Rivers when he went to San Diego, that is exactly what I want out of Jacob Harris. I think that's what they can get. I mean, just a very rare athlete, moves extremely well. If you didn't see his shuttle time and his 3-cone drill, definitely go and watch that, because it's on my video. Actually, when you go to my channel, you can find the Jacob Harris video. It shows that his 3-cone drill was just nuts. To be able to move like that, just nuts. So I'm definitely, I would say my favorite rookie. I can also answer that question too, ADM. My favorite rookie is Jacob Harris, not because his name is Jacob, and honestly, wouldn't matter anyway, because I prefer the name Jake. So my legal name is Jacob. I signed documents with Jacob, but I am Jake. So anyway, Jacob Harris is going to be my favorite rookie. Oh, okay. You're gonna move the goalpost there and tell me to not select Jacob Harris. Then I'm gonna say Robert Rochelle, and then Chris Garrett. So that's what I'll say there. Okay. So, have you seen film on Dante Dion? What are your thoughts? Dion's scrappy, man. I watched film before the Rams got him. When I watched him on the Giants, I saw a scrappy guy. A guy that has surprisingly pretty good ball skills. He's short, right? He's like 5'8", 5'9", but also so is Nickel Roby-Coleman, and so is Darius Williams. By the way, Darius Williams is 5'9". A lot of people get shocked by hearing that, but he's 5'9". So I look at him and I'm like, all right, like Dante Dion for a while now has kind of given me the idea like he can be a starter in this league. He's been that scrappy guy. I don't think like he would have made any other roster. The Rams roster was so tough. Like, you're talking about having a 3rd-round pick who they're desperately trying to get value out of in David Long as their 4th corner. Because last year they had Jalen Ramsey, Darius Williams. Those are 2 of the top 10 best corners in football. And then you have Troy Hill. Troy Hill turned into just as good of a corner last year. I mean, he was right outside the top 10 for me. So, look, I mean, you have that. Then you have David Long, who has to be on the roster by default because you gave up a 3rd-round pick in 2019 to draft him. Dante Dion was like the odd man out. But now, draft position doesn't really matter. This is 2021. If he performs, I'm playing him over David Long. I'm cutting my losses on that. So that's what I would say. How would you handle this year's Rams free agents? Like, what do you mean? Like roles for the guys that they got? Because I think they only got Jackson and Boriquez. I'll have to get back to that. Who on the team do you think won't have a face scan on Madden this year? Oh, man, Aiden. I mean, who does have a face scan in Madden, really? Matthew Stafford has, Cam Akers, Darrell Henderson, Woods, Cup, Deshaun. I don't think Van will. He deserves it, but I don't think he will. I'm not going to name everybody, but Van Jefferson, and then I'll probably say, like, Terrell Burgess. Who is your favorite rookie? No, I already answered that. Love that. What do you think about Paris Ford, potential starter? Paris Ford, to me, no. He's just not the athlete that you want. His issue is that, he's really limited athletically. Hard hitter, sound tackler, doesn't really offer much after that. I don't know if that really, if that translates. He's, an end of the roster type of guy, in my opinion. The guy that played next to him who got drafted higher, actually he got drafted, DeMar Hamlin from Pitt. He went to Buffalo, I believe. Hamlin is a monster. If they got Hamlin undrafted, that guy would have a chance to start. Like, he's that good. I was a big fan of his. Contract-wise, I guess what I'm asking is, like, is it this upcoming year, Henry, or is it, like, what already happened? Like, who would I have kept? Like, are you asking if I would have kept, like, John Johnson? Good question, McCoy. So, Corey or Cody, I think it's Corey Boriquez was, like, one of the best punters last year for the Buffalo Bills. He actually became a free agent, and the Rams signed him. The reason they did that is because of COVID. So they wanted to have two punters. That's why they wanted to have multiple long snappers and multiple kickers. So you probably get Boriquez on the practice squad, but I think a team definitely could sign him because he's really good. Could you see Chris Garrett creating a role for himself outside next to Floyd second half of the season? I mean, maybe. That would be fun. If that happened, that would be great. I think it's going to take a year or two for Chris Garrett to fully get under himself, because here's the thing. Garrett's coming from D2, but not like D2 as in like, okay, he was really, like, he dominated D2, but like there were good players. He was just that much better. He was so much more athletic than everyone else. He outclassed everybody. So while that's really good, it's also going to be, it's not concerning. We're just going to have to see for sure what he does matching up to everybody at the next level. I haven't been hearing, all these crazy things out of camp about him, but keep in mind, if you haven't been hearing about that, it's probably because it's been OTAs, and all that really does is highlight the corners and the wide receivers and the tight ends. That's really it. So you're not going to see a ton out of a pass rusher since they can't hit the quarterback. So that's worth mentioning. 2022 free agents starting early, Jake. Oh, I got you. Okay, well, let's bring up Spotrac, and then I will let you know, because I need to have that in front of me, because I don't know exactly who is a free agent off the top of my head. I know Corbett is, because we just went over that. I know Noboom is, of course, Darius Williams. Let's see here. Oh, okay. So by checking everyone, it literally gave me all the teams. Not what I wanted. There's only 2 market values. That's annoying. So they didn't generate everybody. Let's see here. Free agents 2021. Nope. Need 2022. Okay, let's go through the list here. So we got Darius Williams. He'll be back, potentially. I don't know. He's 29. That's tough. He might be back. We'll see. We will see. I think that really depends on where Robert Rochelle is or David Long with his development. So that's a we'll see. Deshaun Jackson's gone. I think that was a 1-year deal. I think he probably retires. Austin Corbett is another we'll see. I don't know for sure if that's somebody they'll be able to get, but if they can, that'd be great. Corey Boriquez, I think if they keep him on the practice squad, he's going to be the punter moving forward. Johnny Munt is probably gone. Joseph Nopum, we will see. Coleman Shelton, he's a restricted free agent again, so he's probably going to stay. Brian Allen gone. Kareem Orr, it depends. Traven Howard, exclusive rights free agent, so I think he'll be back. 26 years of age. Kenny Young, unrestricted free agent, 27 years old. Might be back, might not. Matt Gay, yes, I think they'll sign him. He's a restricted free agent, so he'll be back. Exclusive rights free agent, Juju Hughes, 24 years old. I think he'll be back. J.R. Reed, they'll probably keep him. Like futures deals, you know. Micah Kaiser, inside linebacker, 27 years old, unrestricted free agent. I don't know. That depends. Like if he gets hurt again this year, I don't know if he'll be back. Thank you for liking the stream, Clifton. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Okay, I got some people on Facebook. I see you guys. I'm going to answer those questions momentarily. Obanai Okoronkwo at 27 years old, pass rusher. That'll be interesting. I don't know if he'll be back. Dion Lake, exclusive rights free agent. We'll see. Sebastian Joseph Day, 27-year-old nose tackle. Unrestricted free agent. He could be back. I think they might try to bring him back. They've already shown the ability. They went out and they signed Aaron Donald. They signed Brockers twice. They've shown, like Les Snead's shown, they signed defensive linemen. So he could be back. Justin Lawler, no. 28 years old, no. Troy Reeder, 28-year-old restricted free agent, I think potentially. Chandler Brewer, exclusive rights free agent, 25-year-old guard, absolutely. He will be back. They really like him. Simba Webster, 26-year-old wide receiver. I don't know if he's going to make the roster. He's a restricted free agent. We'll see if he makes, if he's on the practice squad, we'll see. Checking Facebook, and then I'll check YouTube in just a sec. So Facebook here, we have Gilbert Ruiz. How's it going? Will the player from ND make the team? Love the content. Appreciate you, Gilbert. I think you're by ND, you're talking about Ben Skoranek. He's absolutely going to make the roster. I think they like him long-term. He can replace either Cooper Kupp or Robert Woods on the boundary if they decide to let any of them go moving forward down the line, that type of thing. So I think he's absolutely going to make the roster, plus what he brings to the table on special teams and the potential of potentially moving to tight end if need be. Connor Burgad, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. What % chance the Rams D is still top 5 this year? 80%. I like them as more of like a top 10. Gives me some wiggle room there. Top 5, that might be pushing it. I will give you a 50% chance they're top 5. 80's way too high for me. Also, hey, Jake and everyone. Thanks, Connor. Appreciate you. What's up? All right. YouTube. Let's see here. Could be a Corey Littleton 2.0. Easy Murda 23. Who do you have in mind to be Corey Littleton 2.0? I need to know, because I was talking about a bunch of guys, and I just want to make sure that I get exactly who you're talking about. Anton, how's it going? They should have a second package of offense with Bryce Perkins, Atwell, etc. Agreed. 100% agreed. Like you have these players that you can use. It's like wild cards almost. I totally agree. Garrett, that's an interesting one, because Garrett actually, in a sense, kind of reminds me of Corey Littleton coming out of Washington as a pass rusher. Corey Littleton was initially an edge defender who transferred to the linebacker spot. He also had some defensive background. That's a good one. I don't know. Very interesting, though. That is something to keep in mind. Paris Ford has underrated ball skills. I think he's faster than you think. He had an off day at his pro day. When I watch Paris Ford, I see a lot of John Johnson game in him, not going to lie. Yeah, McCoy, I didn't really see it on tape, but, you could be onto something. Hey, I'll be honest with you. I didn't think John Johnson was a good pick. I thought they should have gotten Desmond King, who also ended up being pretty good. So, maybe I just suck at evaluating safeties and you're on this one. I don't know. Yeah, no, I mean, like he could end up being good. I'm not very high on Paris Ford, but I definitely respect that opinion for sure. What Rams draft picks can you see possibly getting a decent role on offense or defense year one? Harris, Jones, Skuda, Skoranek. So on decent role, I'd say a decent role is red zone, right? So in the red zone, I think you could look at Skoranek to potentially be a red zone threat. I think, looking at, say, corner, depending, you could have Robert Rochelle being the number 3 corner if he beats out David Long. So that's, something. Jacob Harris could take over as the number 1 tight end. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think the sky's the limit with him. So I don't see guys like Jake Funk getting an opportunity off it. I mean, he's just not going to, I don't think. So I don't think Chris Garrett is going to get a huge opportunity on the defense, but maybe he does. Tutu Atwell, I don't know if he's going to get a huge opportunity on the offense, but he could. I think Ernest Jones is the only day 1 starter. Ernest Brown is another name to mention because he might get an opportunity on the defense. He might be that, Morgan Fox type of guy. And if so, he'll have a decent role. Who has a better chance of making the roster, Jake Funk or UDFA from UCF? I think the UDFA from UCF offers more as a running back. But when you look at what Jake Funk offers as a special teamer, that's hard to cut. That's different than Clay Johnston because both are like these, these fan favorites early on. Clay Johnston didn't really contribute the way Jake Funk did athletically and in special teams. So I think Jake Funk if he's going to win a job, he's going to come out day 1 and win it on special teams. So that's what I would say on that. Clifton, how's it going? Will rookies SJD and Gaines push? Oh, will the rookies SJD and Gaines push Ashawn to short yardage situations? Good question. Could definitely see something like that, but I think Ashawn, he's slimmed down big time. So I think there's a chance that, they're trying to actually make him a 3-4 defensive end. They want him to play. They want him to stay on the field. They'll probably rotate him a little bit, but yeah, I don't know actually, because it seems to me like, with him slimming down, that wouldn't be good for a short yardage situation. Oh my God, this stream is popping, man. 74 viewers. Appreciate y'all. This has been fun. Guys, this is the dead period, and this is awesome. I just that's the best way I can put it. What will Funk do on special teams? Well, Funk, here's the thing. He's a great tackler. He's like a heat-seeking missile. So when you factor in the fact he can run a 4.4, and you factor in the fact he's built, like he's not like a 160-pound running back. Like he can literally, like he's built, like he's like 210, I believe. So, because of that, and he's filled out and everything, makes him, he's a harder hit. And when you're playing special teams, what you're doing is you're going to have different guys for different things. So, for instance, when you're playing the hands team, you're going to need to know how to block, and you're going to need to know where to block and things along that nature, because you call plays on special teams. People don't even realize this. Special teams isn't just running straight at a guy and, having them all block those guys that are running straight at the guy. There are different plays. So like what you would see with, Coach Bones is that maybe they would all, push everyone over to the left in an attempt to kind of find that crease to the right. Because then if you bring everybody over to the left and all of the, the hands team and everybody is on this side, then maybe the guy can get by. And if he has the speed to get to the edge, he's gone. That's something. They could try blocking up the middle. They can try pushing everyone to the right, going to the left. So there are different things that you can do. And Jake Funk is a solid blocker. But the best thing about him is his ability to be a gunner on special teams and tackle. You will, if you can find his special teams highlights on YouTube somewhere. I saw them a while ago, and I think it got taken down on YouTube. But the dude's a heat-seeking missile. And I know a lot of the time it's really hogwash talk when people will be like, oh, he's good on special teams. And it's kind of like a last-ditch effort for you to justify that a player's good or why he has a reason. But no, with him, he's a legit special teamer. That's not just BS. Like, he can play. Let's see here. Do you think McVay will change the offense or keep it pretty similar to the last few years? Similar but different. He's going to add a lot of nuance and different, things that Stafford had with his offense. I don't think it'll look exactly the same to Jared Goff's offense. I think it'll look pretty different, but I think it'll look pretty similar as well. So, you might just see more execution with last year's offense or something along those lines. But I don't think it'll be like a carbon copy. I think they are going to take advantage of the fact Stafford has had opportunities with all these different coordinators, and they're going to merge their findings. Thank you, ADM. Appreciate you. I honestly hope the UDFA is the kick returner. He is so electric. Oh, Haydell. It's weird. Haydell didn't run well at all. He didn't test well, but yeah, I agree. He's I wouldn't call him electric, but he's so good at finding a hole. He's got great vision. Like a running back, and those are the type of guys that you want. And we talked about that on here before. Your kick returner doesn't have to be blazing fast. I know it sounds weird, but you really just need a guy that can read blocks. You need a guy that has vision, guy that has contact balance, guy that holds on to the friggin' ball. All of that is all you need. And when you have that guy, you don't let him go. I was dying over here. Oh, man. I'm still talking with, I have my aligners in right now. So, I'm talking, and it's harder because it builds up, for lack of a better term, it builds up spit. So, I'm sitting here, about to die, but I'm saying the dude from UCF. Oh, yeah. UCF, I mean, he didn't test well either. It was really weird. But yeah, no, I agree with you. Totally fair guy's name. Otis. Oh, man. Who do you think Jax will start at quarterback? Surprised Minshew has lasted this long. Feel like they should start him, and at least first mistake will bench him. It'll be Trevor Lawrence, or Jacksonville will burn to the ground because they are so hyped for him. Which, it's a shame that Gardner Minshew, he ends up being everything you would want in a 6th round pick. You guys saw my video on him, so I'm not going to make a huge deal of it, but it's a damn shame the way this league just kind of chews up and spits out different quarterbacks. And, I think the Patriots should 100% consider trading for him. I think he'd be a great fit there. He would have been a great fit in Kyle Shanahan's offense in San Francisco. There are multiple spots he'd be a good fit. New Orleans, Denver. Minshew can play, man. No doubt about it. He's a starting quarterback in this league. What they did last year was a joke, but that's what I would say. What makes you pick Rams over 49ers? I see a lot of experts pick the Niners. Worried? No. So the reason I feel this way about the Rams is look at what they did with Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff is a solid quarterback, but I do think Jared Goff has his shortcomings. First off, Jared Goff doesn't have the no-nonsense, fearless attitude Stafford has. Stafford will throw the ball up in the air and give you an opportunity. Even when you don't create separation, he's going to give you an opportunity as a receiver to make a play. And so there's a lot of plays because Jared Goff wouldn't throw in those certain situations. The Rams just either turned the ball over because he made a poor decision by not throwing deep down the field. He tried, throwing sidearm to a guy, that was, maybe going out for a screen that he didn't see or something along those lines, or taking a sack. Instead, those plays where the Rams went 3 and out or turned the ball over, those plays are going to turn into, thank you for following, Ted, appreciate you. Those plays instead are going to turn into, converted first downs and things like that. That's what you're going to see. So I just think that it's a better overall team with Stafford. Now, I understand worrying about losing a guy like John Johnson, right? I understand worrying about losing Troy Hill. I get that. But it's not the end of the world. And as great as John Johnson is, quite honestly, he has an argument to be the best safety in the league. I'm not saying he is, but he has an argument to be in there because right now there's not an Ed Reed, and it's obvious. There's just, there's not. So, yes, John Johnson hurt. Losing him hurt. But the Rams were prepared for this. They've been doing this behind our backs for a while. Or actually, you could just say right in front of us. They drafted Taylor Rapp 2019 in the second round. They said he would have been their 31st overall pick if they couldn't make that deal with Atlanta. That's how much they liked him. There's a reason. And then in this past draft, they draft not one but two safeties. A guy that one of the scouting directors said was the best safety in the draft in Jordan Fuller in the 6th round. And then the other guy's Terrell Burgess, who can literally play all over the secondary. So now you have those guys. On top of that, you got Nick Scott as well. So you got Nick Scott from Penn State, freakish athlete, and he's turned out very well. And look at the way Nick Scott played last year in the playoffs. They were watching that, and they're going back and they're watching all this tape, and they're like, okay, we're 4 deep. We don't need John Johnson. But we do need Leonard Floyd. And that was what they decided. They took Floyd, the pass rusher, over John Johnson. And John Johnson, from what it sounded like, wanted to be back. Troy Hill is the one that decided to go to Cleveland over the Rams. And I don't blame him because he is from Cleveland. He wanted to play, for his hometown team. He had that opportunity. He was a free agent. The Rams didn't sign him beforehand, so he was a free agent. Sad for him to see him go, but I get it. I understand it. I'm not going to hate on him for it. So, man, it's Tuesday, and you guys are absolutely lit right now. Crazy. I mean, we're like flirting with potentially hitting triple digits, which is not what I expected logging on tonight, which I'm very happy about because just wait until the season comes, guys. This place is going to be absolutely insane. Let's see. Joseph Noteboom will replace Big Wit as much as you're skeptical and unsure he will have similar production. Not saying he will be a Hall of Famer like Wit, but he will plug in just fine. Oh, I'm not skeptical about Joseph Noteboom. I like Noteboom a lot. The thing with me, Martin, is I feel like Anchrum has kind of been their guy since they found out last year he can play all the positions. He took over for Whitworth in practice, ran with the ones on Whitworth's off days. I know he didn't play in a game, but probably because he was a rookie 7th round pick, and they'd rather just give Noteboom the opportunity. But with Noteboom, there's that uncertainty. If he's back, then yeah, I'm sure he wins the left tackle job. But if they don't re-sign him, I think Anchrum wins that. So yeah, I would say that. ADM says Jake's Q&As are elite AF. I'm not gonna drop the F-bomb on here. We're doing too well right now. As a Rams fan, these streams are just a blessing, getting a chance to ask questions and talk Rams. Appreciate Jake. Yeah, absolutely, ADM. This is a blessing for me to have a platform, talk to such amazing people that like the same team I do, that, respect that I like other interests and can literally talk. I mean, I think the last time we were talking about Rams, but then we started talking about horror movies and stuff. I love this community, and this is literally my safe haven. I know it sounds weird saying that, but it is. So, yeah. Terrell Burgess will explode this season. Substance, I don't know about explode, but I think he's going to be in for a good year, and I absolutely love Terrell. Terrell is going to be hopefully he's going to be on our podcast again soon. We've interviewed him 3 times now, so he's great. Love him. Are confident the Rams offensive line protecting Stafford? Yes, I am, Rusty. I'm very confident the Rams can protect Stafford. The chat booming. I'm dumb late. It's okay, Nolan. I forgive you. Nolan has been literally in my streams where I've had 2 people on, and I'm playing like Knockout City at like 3 a.m. So don't feel bad that you're late to this one, man. Fuller and Burgess, oh hell yeah. Would you rather have as the Rams backup quarterback the Wolf of Wall Street or Buster Cherry, aka Minshew? Ooh, that's tough. I love both of them. I'll probably say Wolford because of the familiarity he has with the playbook, the fact they were probably going to start him if they didn't trade Jared Goff and they didn't get Matthew Stafford. So I'd go with Wolford for that reason as the tiebreaker. Substance, sub Nolan. TJ, I love Johnson, but he's a horrible tackler, has suspect ball skills. How many ints have we watched him drop in the past? I mean, I hear you. There are times though that like he really like he made that incredible interception on George Kittle. They were throwing it to the flat, and he made a diving interception. That was unreal. He has a couple of those. JJ was a blue spot though. That job is for Fuller now for sure. Smash the likes button. Oh, look at the big time Jake, 76 views. Your videos give me the confidence when watching the Rams and getting ready for the season. I love to hear that, Rusty. Thank you. What's up, everyone? What's up, Ram fan Ashton? How we doing? I'm so mad the disrespect of our O lineman. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the Rams' offensive line is really not that bad. It's just there's some question marks with Evans for me. That's it. I mean, I feel like Corbett's going to plug in and play very well at center. I think Edwards has already shown you he's a solid guard. I think Whitworth, his resume, enough said, if he stays healthy and plays the way he did, last year, you're looking at, again, a top 5 offensive tackle, and Rob Havenstein at his best is a top 10 right tackle. So, again, not a bad offensive line. Yeah, hit that like button. No, if you guys could, it really does help. It pushes the algorithm, then pushes this live stream out to other people that are watching other videos. It'll just show up on their side panel. So it's awesome when that happens. I'm late, but what's up, crew? Oh, if you could have one player on the Rams today from the greatest show on turf outside of Marshall Faulk, Isaac Bruce, Kurt Warner, Aeneas Williams, and Orlando Pace, who would it be? You didn't mention Torrey Holt. I would love to see Matthew Stafford throwing to Torrey Holt, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson, Deshaun Jackson, Tutu Atwell, and, whoever else. That would be fun. What about our run defense? Run defense should be fun. They got, 3 guys up front that can stop the run. I think their linebackers are better this year because I think Ernest Jones will be better at stopping the run, and so will, Trayvon Howard. They'll have, their third guy and Troy Reader, fourth guy and Micah Kaiser, Yeah, you'll start to notice the offensive line won't get bashed as much. A lot of that was on Jared Goff because he just doesn't manipulate the pocket the way Stafford does, so you won't even run into that issue. I hope Burgess lays out DK this year. I think he can really hit pretty dang hard, not going to lie. You're right, McCoy. He can hit hard. That was my choice too. Yeah, no, absolutely. Torrey Big Game Holt. So I'm going to drop another Discord link. It's going in the same Discord channel, but I'm going to drop another link because we have a lot of people in here, and I want to see if I can get people in. So if you like talking Rams nonstop, be sure to check out the Discord. That Discord link will get you a one-stop shop to all your Rams, MCU, horror, pretty much whatever we want to talk about in there. It's now at, 240 people? It's a growing community. Click that link, sign up. It's free, literally costs $0, 0 cents. Ask Shop by Nolan, ask Ram Fan Ash, ask any one of them what they think about the Discord. People like the Discord. And it's a non-stop community. We keep getting bigger, and I love it. Hollins is underrated. He's actually a really good run defender. He had such promise to be a great pass rusher, very elite athlete. But I just feel like he's become such a better run defender, and in coverage as far as linebacker, it makes me wonder if inside linebackers is better fit there. What's up, Aaron? How we doing? It's scary what McVay says about Stafford. If everything about Stafford is true, then the league is in trouble. Totally agree. Driving by SoFi right now. Life is good. That's awesome, Ben. We have AD, so practicing with him makes our O-line better. Definitely agree. That's something that not everyone has, clearly. Thank you, Clifton. Appreciate you. I'm checking Facebook right now. I see a lot of people in here. I'm sorry. I have it all here, but it's a matter of like, I gotta get better at this when the season starts. Let's see. Jake, are you in LA yet, as in living? Connor, I actually decided to bypass going to LA. I'm going to stay here in upstate New York. I'm going to keep grinding, and we'll see what the future provides. That's the best way I can do it. I rented a studio with my cousin. We do the AJ show from. That's really what I needed, so I feel pretty good right now where I'm at. Maybe someday, but not right now. Yeah, just like Pharaoh Cooper, still don't know why we let him go. It was entirely because the playoffs. I think they just put him in the doghouse because of that. I really like Funk. He will definitely be a factor on special teams, but really pulling for Otis Anderson Jr., it seems special teams has definitely been the focus. Yeah, when scouts are constantly talking about Jake Funk and his special teams ability and not really his running ability, that tells me all you need to know what they think about him. They like him that much on special teams. Gilbert, hope to see Los Angeles younger fans grow with the team. So happy to have them back home. Absolutely agree. I think this is a huge opportunity, not just for me, not just for the channel, not just for you guys, but for everybody. I mean, I think this organization is going to get bigger and bigger. The Rams are going to get bigger and bigger. Just wait until LA adopts this team fully. I'm not saying that LA hasn't already. I'm saying once the full nature of LA develops, adopts this team as their own, you will see this fan base will continue to grow. And even during the off season, we'll see 168 in here instead of 68. And I'm not complaining about that at all. But I'm saying this fan base is going to continue to grow. There's a lot of growth left in this fan base, and I don't think people realize that at all. Clifton, love seeing you grow, bro. Go Rams. Thank you, Clifton. Appreciate you. Connor, Rams fans, 1 year later, has the logo colors grown on you? Connor, I would say the colors and the logos grew on me pretty quickly, except I still hate the Ram head. I don't like it. I thought the old Ram logo was better. Quite honestly, I think every Rams head logo is better, except for the one that looks like it was, drawn on an Etch-a-Sketch. But, I would I would say I love the LA logo, if you can't tell, since it's been on like all of my thumbnails lately. Rams related. Let's see here. I'm trying to track you guys down. Okay. That's a vibe. Ben, away for the substance, please. Best Rams drafted running back that nobody knows they drafted. Are you talking about Funk or just who are you talking about there? Out here in Mexico and enjoying every second of this podcast. Hey, thank you, Rusty. Appreciate that. What made our special teams so bad? Just the lack of discipline. Going from Coach Bones to, Bonamego. I called him Winnebago. Going from Coach Bones to Coach Bonamego was just like, it's like going from Bill Belichick and hiring Jason Garrett. That's essentially what it is. Because, Coach Bones was the best special teams coordinator in the league. And they go from hiring they have the best special teams coordinator in the league, just like I think Bill Belichick's the best coach. Go from the best coach to, getting a guy like Jason Garrett. You just, no. Not a fan. So, maybe Chargers can find their own house then. Losing Bones Jones. What's the deal? Abraham. Oh, Kellen. What will our next uniform color be in 2022? I'd imagine it'll be black, like the color shirt I'm wearing. I think it's going to be black, so be ready for that. In history, it would be Jerome Bettis, what it could have been. Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, Jerome Bettis, what was he, Rookie of the Year, and then they trade him the next year? I don't know if Marshall Faulk ever comes to the Rams if that's the case, though. So you guess you pick your poison there, right? Damn. I remember we just got to 5,000 subscribers, and here we are. We're now at 5,418. Love to see it. after this, guys, if you guys haven't already checked it out, I did drop a video. I dropped a Rams uniform leak video. That's not my best content, but I mean, it got a lot of views. So there's that. I just wanted to get that out to you as soon as possible. I only film in 4K, so the file was large, so I only recorded like 2 minutes of it because I wanted to, make sure to get that out to you as soon as possible. It's more of like time friendly there. But I did a video on Roman Gabriel and why I believe he belongs in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We got all sorts of series going on here. Oh, yeah, absolutely, Connor. Drop in the Discord right now. Boom, there we go. I thought I put the Discord link everywhere, and then I just realized, no, I'm an idiot. I'm just putting it in on YouTube, and my friends on Facebook aren't getting it. Well, there it is for you. Any and all are welcome. But yeah, I did the video on Roman Gabriel. I'm going to do all sorts of series. We got the top 100 players. So coming up is, I want to say, what, 70 through 61? I think that's where we're at. I could be wrong. I'll have to check that. No, not even close. 80 through 71 would be the next one. So I'll record that. Thanks, Nolan. Yeah, I mean, look, this isn't in 4K because I literally can't stream 4K because YouTube doesn't have a 4K support. But I'll tell you guys, once YouTube allows 4K support, I'll stream in 4K. I don't care. I'll do it. I love getting all these videos in 4K. I want you guys to be able to see this content and be like, wow, that looks so nice, and like not have to strain your eyes or anything, like, because you can actually watch 4K on your phone whether you know it or not. And in case you're doing it wrong, make sure on your phone, because I think it defaults, not to everybody, but I think it defaults to like HD or even below it. You can go on your phone if you're on the YouTube app, not on this video because this is in HD 60 frames, but you can go on any video and you can click on the that gear button and it'll show, and then you can move it to the highest resolution and that'll bring it to 4K. I found that out the other day. You can get 4K on a iPhone or whatever on a phone. So yeah, I mean that's why. I mean we'll keep upgrading too. This is a new camera, as you guys know. I got this pretty recently. Upgrade the camera. We'll keep upgrading our setup, but I'm excited for the future, and I'm not going to cut any corners when it comes to you guys. I'm going to give you guys the best damn content I can. That's what I'm focusing on here. If you guys haven't already, be sure to, what was it? I had no comments, no new comments, and all of a sudden a bunch came up, and now I can't. They're all out of order. Also, Webster does not get north and south enough. I just don't like him at returner at all. I'm excited for this season since the entire game is really underestimating the Rams and say we stand no chance against the 49ers, Seahawks, and Cardinals. Yeah. I say my favorite Rams running back is Steven Jackson. 10 years of the top 6 worst offensive line and run block. Agree with that. I've actually seen a lot of talk about Super Bowl status and a lot of people talking the Rams to be NFC West champions this year. I've seen that. Can't wait for this season. Going to be refreshing seeing Stafford after Goff for the last 2 years. Definitely agree with you there. I heard that too. I'm just saying I love the Rams being underdogs. Quick question, bro. Have you heard the buzz over Paris Ford in camp? So you see him possibly pushing for a spot on their roster? Good question. I don't really know. I've heard a little bit about him, but I'm not hearing too much about Paris. Appreciate you, Mista. Appreciate you subscribing. Make sure everybody, this is what I remembered. I never remember on stream. What ends up happening is when I'm like, I gotta tell you guys something, because I have to tell you guys thousands of things. And what normally ends up happening is when I'm like, I gotta tell you guys something, I forget, I read a comment, and then I remember literally as soon as I hit the off button or whatever, you know, I go offline. That's when I remember. But what I was going to say before I forget again is if you're on a phone right now, which I'm sure most of you are because my analytics tell me that like 90% of viewership is on the phone, which really tells you how much we've evolved as a society. But if you're on the phone, what's up, Aaron? I like the Fire 2 Substance. Appreciate you. If you're on the phone, be sure, you might not even know you could do this. And honestly, you can do it on desktop too. So be sure when you're on the phone, you can go right over to, let's just say you go to a video, one of my videos, and you're already going to have the subscribe button selected because I assume all of you are amazing people. So you already have me subscribed, you know, it's an assumption. But if you don't, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Next to that, you are going to see a bell. You want to click the bell icon. The bell icon is going to give you all of my videos when they launch. As soon as they drop, you will get a notification on them. And what I find is that while, you know, we have a decent amount of people subscribed and they have the bell notification on, not everyone knows about that. So I figured I'd mention that because, I mean, the bell icon is a beautiful thing. I have the bell icon anytime Dead Meat drops a video because I like their kill count, their horror movie videos. That's what I was gonna say. So yeah, I use the bell icon all the time. Now, I can tell you exactly what I have here. So right now, for the bell icon, subscribers who turn on all notifications for your channel, 8.4%. Typical on YouTube, 10%. That's actually really good. Like we're near average on YouTube. If we can get that above 10, inside the 10 to 30% range, that'd be amazing. We have 451 people out of my subscribers that have all notifications on. So immediately, as soon as I drop a video, 451 of you are getting that said video. Subscribers who turn on all notifications for your channel and enabled YouTube notifications, because you also probably have to do that, I guess. I don't know how that works. But that's 6.9%. That's actually above YouTube average of 5%. So 6.9% is above YouTube average of 5%. That's 373 of my subscribers. So make sure you are hitting that bell if you want. Also, I think this is just the last 28 days. Because I think, okay. No, that's all together. Okay, so that's all time. And then subscriber base, pretty awesome. Lifetime, we have 30.9% of all my viewers are subscribers. And that is amazing. That's a great percentage. That's phenomenal. So, and that's pretty awesome. I just figured I'd mention that because I always forget to. And there's a lot of people that don't know that you can hit that bell icon. And they're like, Jake, you have to let me know when you drop a video. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. Like, I post everywhere. I figure I had annoyed you by now. I actually get that a lot. Have I heard of Resident Evil Village? Christian, you were in the stream. I played Resident Evil Village. I just hit the bell like Wheelchair Man and Breaking Bad. Oh, thank you, Ben. Yeah, let's hit that bell icon. Let's go. Let's keep it going. Yeah, and I mean, all of you guys, it's funny, I keep saying, please subscribe to me, but everybody that's commenting is already subscribed because I have the subscriber only mode on. And you know what? I'm going to keep it on because I feel like my subscribers deserve the world. And maybe I'm a jerk for it, but I want to interact with the people that have subscribed to my channel. So, doing that. I wish the new Rams unis are the Super Bowl 2000 jerseys. That would be cool. I wouldn't mind that. Or a variation. Stafford to Jackson will be awesome to see. I'm going to explode that first touchdown. Yeah, this season's going to be fun, guys. Just everyone stay safe so you make sure that you can see it. Don't do anything stupid. I'm very excited, though. Very excited. Man, this has been a killer stream. I have not, maybe you guys could let me know, but I have not seen one single frame drop, and I'm at my house. I'm not in the studio. You guys know what the studio looks like by now. I will be in the studio during the season at times. Probably going to set up another setup so I can just go there and just, hit record and start streaming. But this is just for my house, and not bad. Sharing bandwidth, and I have not dropped a single frame, unless you guys have seen it. I don't know. But I'm pretty hype. Also, some of you guys were coming out and you were saying during my streams that you were getting buffering. So I can actually tell you I fixed that, because what I found, and as I continue to stream, I continue to learn. So I don't consider myself an expert on any of this, okay? I just learn as I go. So people were asking me, why is my stream buffering? And I said straight up, I was like, I don't know. I'll look into it. Well, I did. And what I found, thank you for liking the stream, Connor. Appreciate you. What I found is that my bit rate was too high. So the bit rate's fine if it's super high, like it's fine and all, until you get to devices that can't handle that high of a bit rate. So that's why you get the buffering. No more buffering. I literally looked up the absolute maximum you can have on YouTube and what they recommend, and I believe it's 5,000. And I hit that button. I have CBR selected, constant bitrate at 5,000, so no more buffering for you guys. And if it's buffering, that means that I have horrible connection and it's on my side. It's not your, it's not your issue. So that's gone as I just slam my mic. Man, it's almost midnight on the East Coast and we still have over 70. This is awesome. I'm hyped for Jacob Harris too, Aaron. Definitely hyped. Bro, who do you see as our third starting wide receiver week 1? Of course, Woods and Kupp are a given. Absolutely Van Jefferson. Deshaun Jackson to me is a role player, a guy that they will use to, stretch out the field. He's going to be used in he's going to be used on a basis of kind of, like strategic wise, you stretch out the field. It's kind of like, what the best way to put it? Deshaun Jackson is going to be the mid-range jump shot for an NBA team, because here's the thing. If you just take threes and you take layups all game long, I know what you're doing. You're either going to shoot a three or you're going to lay it up. But if you start taking those mid-range jump shots, now you're keeping me honest, because now I have to defend the mid-range, I have to defend the three, I have to defend the layup. With Deshaun Jackson, he's keeping you honest over the top, because the thing is, when, Deshaun Jackson, you're going to have, you're obviously going to have the end around opportunity for him. You're going to have the quick slants that you can run with Kupp, Woods, Van, all of them, right? But on top of it, you have Van Jefferson who could stretch the field, whether people realize it or not. And you have Deshaun Jackson who could stretch the field. And what that ultimately does is it creates, a defense that has to keep you honest. And what that does is now all of a sudden teams are selling out to stop the deep ball. And what that does is it opens up the run game. So you'll start to see that. It's going to help everything, I think that was the best analogy I could make. You also could compare it to boxing. If you just go for the head the whole time, if you just keep punching, jabs to the face, well, I'm just going to know how to block it, because you're not punching. You're not keeping me honest with the body shots. You have to hit me in the body, So, I did not see what happened to Giannis. What happened to Giannis? Thanks, Gilbert. Appreciate you. Make sure you guys join that Discord. I'll post another link before I head out. I'm not heading out right now, but I'm just saying, he's out of the playoffs. Your projected offensive line for this year, Rusty, I'm just kind of gonna go with what they have. I have Whitworth, Edwards, Corbett, Evans, and Havenstein, but Jake with Clutch with the bits. Van Dam Jefferson. I like that. Jake, have you heard of it? What do you think about Coleman Shelton? Sorry, Abe, I just saw that. Proud to be a part of that 8%. Proud to have you as the 8%. Coleman Shelton is just kind of a guy. You know, he's a jag to me. Giannis hyperextended his knee. Oh, no. Yeah, it's a good offensive line, Rusty. I think it's you know, potentially top 10, definitely top 15. Analogy, man. What's up, Don? Your Detroit Lions are going to be pretty good. I think so, anyway. And if Rodgers doesn't play for Green Bay, I think they win the division. Do you think Darrell Henderson will have an opportunity to be RB1? I personally believe he's the best all-around running back on our team. Martin, sadly, I think they're really going to force-feed Cam Akers, but I think Darrell Henderson is awesome, and I think he'll get an opportunity to be more than just a backup running back. I think he'll be like a James White. I don't think Big V is Big V gonna play. Is he gonna start? Huh. Yeah, I don't know who's gonna like. Either way, I mean, you have Sewell, Ragnow, Jonah Jackson, Taylor Decker. It's a good offensive line. Christian, I thought for sure you were in my stream when I was playing Resident Evil Village. I actually beat it. You can find my full playthrough on my channel. Yeah, he is. Okay, he is starting at right guard. Okay, good to know. All right, let's see what we got here. 451, 373. I don't know if it updates immediately, but yeah, it does not update immediately, so. Okay, it's processing from the previous day. Yeah, subscriber bell is awesome because you can subscribe to anybody, but your favorite channels, you hit that bell icon, it's going to give you updates as soon as they drop a video. Like for me, I do it for Dead Meat, like I said. I love their videos. I do it for Emergency Awesome. I do it for Everything Always, you know, those two MCU entertainment channels. What else do I do it for? Crystalia. I love watching Congratulations podcast. I'm trying to think of who else. I think that's it. Yeah, I'm sure I have other ones as well, but Brett Coleman, great video breakdown guy. Ray William Johnson, although he doesn't really post anything. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, and New Rock Stars. And Think Media. And my cousin. Okay, I have more bell icons selected than we thought. See, Nolan knows. Christian. When Cup and Woods go off this season, I'm going to pull the receipts on everybody who's eager to trade them. And you know I wasn't, so I'll be good there. Yeah, Emergency Awesome is awesome. Wow, I hate that I said that, but, you know, Eric Voss of New Rockstars is great. Great live stream. I'm glad you were a Rams fan. Been subscribed for a while. Keep the content coming. Thank you, Martin. Appreciate you. What are we streaming next, Christian? Man, I don't know. I mean, like right now, I'm still in I'm in 2 playthroughs. I'm in Resident Evil 2, the remake, and I'm in Ratchet and Clank, which we're almost done with. I tried to finish the other day, but I was so dead. Like, I was so dead. You guys know that we're in that stream. I was about to pass out. Would you like Melvin Ingram on this team after the rumors that his ideal landing spot is with the Rams? That's a rumor? Because if his ideal landing spot is with the Rams, I'd sign him yesterday. I absolutely want Melvin Ingram on the team. The only position that I continue to say the Rams can upgrade at is edge. And I stand by that. What receivers do you think get cut? Anyone that's not named Woods, Kupp, Jefferson, Atwell, Jackson, Skoranek. So everyone except for those guys. I really hope Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods have better numbers than DK and Lockett this year, so my friend can shut up and stop saying the Seahawks receivers are way better than the Rams. I mean, I think DK is better than both of them because he's just a freak, but Lockett I actually have like on the same tier, but he's just a step below them, I think. Kupp and Woods can do it all for this offense. He gets on my nerves so much. He thinks Stafford won't be all that. He thinks he has potential, but just because he didn't win a playoff game, I shouldn't be hyped to have him on the Rams. You should be hyped to have him on the Rams. Don't listen to anybody. Let's see here. Yeah, man. I'm glad Chris D'Elia is back. I actually saw him live at the Improv in Hollywood with Alexis a few years ago. Yeah, that was a blast. New rock stars are a go-to as well, fam. Totally agree with you. What's your prediction on Akers rushing yards this year? I did a projection video, Easy Murda. You want to check out on my channel. I projected all the Rams stats for the starters that I think they're going to have, and I think I had 1,100 rushing yards. Jake, what do you think the best way to grow the fan base is? Ben, that's a great question. Now, do you mean for my channel personally, or do you mean the fan base in general? Like, is it something like what do I think the Rams should do? What do I think I should do? What do you think we all should do? That's a very good question, but I need more on that. Get Snead on the phone for Ingram. Yes. Stafford will pass for 700 yards. No, he won't, but that's really funny. Will Cooper Kupp actually ever get to play in a playoff game? Good question. For Rams? Oh, for Rams? Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. So if you want to build a fan base, you have to, get them involved. You have to get them to want to come to your games. On top of that, you need to realize that your history doesn't matter to those people as much, okay? So as much as I love the history of the Rams, and it's amazing. I mean, it's a great history. And yeah, Henry, Alexis was with me. We saw Chris D'Elia at Jones on 3rd the day after the show. But what I was going to say is that as much as I love Rams history, the Rams have maybe a top 3, history for teams. The fact of the matter is this, the Rams need to realize, and I'm sure they already do, but the fans that, are kind of pissed off that they moved and haven't given them the chance since, they're not going to flock when you talk about history. The history doesn't matter to them right now. They're just pissed. So you have to get them into it. I think the easiest way is to win. I know it sounds, annoying or whatever, but if the Clippers were to win an NBA Finals championship this year, like say they win a championship this year, and God, I hope they don't, but say they do, then it helps, but you have the Lakers. The Lakers are an established product. It's like the Yankees and the Mets. You're not dethroning the Lakers. If the Rams win a championship, the Rams are that team. And you could argue, like, the Raiders probably have more fans, but guess what the Raiders did? They moved to Oakland. And oh, by the way, now they're in Vegas. So they're not even in California, is my point. So I think you'll start to see Raiders fans that are tired of it. They might join the Rams. You might see that. I think you got some Chargers fans that were really pissed when they left San Diego. I know they became Rams fans. And there'll be people that want to be different, and there'll be Chargers fans, but there's not going to be a ton. And I do think the Chargers will be really good, but it won't matter because if the Rams win the Super Bowl against them or whatever, that like I have predicted, then it won't matter. The thing is, it's very simple, okay? The Rams need to win, But on top of that, they need to stop worrying about the history and start focusing on the now. And I think that's what they're doing. They're doing it, bringing in a brand new uniform, bringing in all sorts of, like close to home icons, different, people rocking the Rams jersey and things like that, pop culture. That's how you're going to get involved with the next era, because that's how it starts. This fan base is going to be built from the ground up. And when the potential is massive. Like when you look at a Steelers, a Green Bay Packers, a Dallas Cowboys, 49ers, less about the 49ers. I don't know why. A lot of their fans are really spotty. There's some good fans out there, but I've seen a lot of them that just go they disappear when the 49ers aren't doing well. And the Browns are great fans as well. But the big market teams, though, as far as big market, it's based on, how big and loyal the fans are. I mean, Steelers, you see their presence on YouTube. You see the presence of Packers on YouTube. You see the presence of even the Vikings on YouTube and the Cowboys. We didn't really have that. And before Rams Talk, Rams House, before they started, and I know because I had not done my channel yet, and I had tried to get Rams content on YouTube, and there just wouldn't be anything there. Before they started, it was really dead. My friend Daniel would post Rams highlights. I would say 24/7 Rams, or Rams 24/7. Nick Gallaretta, a friend of mine, who I've collabed with in the past. We did an NFC West preview. That was the extent of my YouTube. There's probably a channel out there. I might post my old videos just to show you guys. But, I did a YouTube channel a while ago, a long time ago, with a webcam. So I don't really talk too much about that. I was barely on it. But Nick Gallaretta was one of the people, Rams 24/7, that was doing, Rams content on YouTube. What's Clash of the Horns? That was another one. But I mean, for the most part, it's the Rams are nowhere near where the Steelers are fan-wise, and they're going to get there. It's unfortunate, though, because it's the Rams, they've gone from Cleveland, St. Louis, and LA, but the way they left, they don't have really a Cleveland fan base for the most part. And they don't really have, the St. Louis fans kind of turned on them, the way they left. So it's tough, and you have to go back to the basics and everything, I agree, Aaron. I want to see all that in 4K. Vegas is a hockey town. I've been there. I can tell you, I was there right before the Vegas Golden Knights, who are my team, by the way. The Vegas Golden Knights played their first game. And I can tell you right away, I had never seen a city so hyped for a team. I mean, they were so stoked for Vegas. They were so stoked. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate you. Defensive play caller, I mean, there's a good chance it could be Ernest Jones. Ernest Jones or Jordan Fuller, I would say. Or it could be Ramsey. One of those guys. Total Football Talk. That sounds really familiar. I've heard of that. Heard of it. I don't know exactly why, but I have heard of it before. Huh. Guys, I know I say this a lot, but I cannot wait till the season starts. I want to see this channel just blow up. Because I told you, my goal. Everyone knows my goal on here. Or they don't know me. I mean, my goal is to do this full time. And doing this full time means I no longer have to share an 8-hour workday while making content, sacrificing my lunch break to shoot a video, editing during the day. It means that's my job. I have just all my undivided attention towards my passion. I'm actually taking a YouTube course right now with it's Sean Cannell's YouTube course, Think Media. If you guys are trying to get into YouTube, if you guys are trying to, not even just necessarily sports, like if you're trying to get into YouTube for anything, highly recommend it. I'm gonna start posting the link. It's an affiliate link for the course in my channel description if anyone's interested. But I'm very excited. Hey, I just mentioned Clash of the Horns, and boom, there he is. What's up, Clash? How we doing? I appreciate that, Ben. I'm telling you, I don't know when it'll happen, but I will go full time in this, and I'm really hyped. Yeah. What's up, William? I didn't know that. I just, all I hear is that St. Louis hates the Rams, so I'm just assuming, The last time I was there, the Rams were still in St. Louis, so, no one really hated them, but... Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate you. I'm trying, But I'm doing other stuff. Like Loki, of course. That'll be that'll be coming out. Episode 4. Cannot wait. Someone just sent me my sister just sent me a message on Facebook, totally disrupted my train of thought. Yeah, no, Loki is going to come out episode 4. If you guys haven't gotten on that, if you guys like the MCU, you 100% should get on that. I do a video for each episode. I did a video for each episode of Falcon Winter Soldier. That's on my channel, just like every episode of Loki. Highly, highly, highly recommend. Loki has taken WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier and has just taken it to the next level. So it's crazy. Cannot wait for episode 4. Probably won't stay up until 3 a.m. like I want to. It's tempting, but I got to get to the gym early tomorrow morning, so that's not happening. But I do wish I could. That would be interesting. Hey guys, how would you feel if... So not necessarily Rams, because here's the thing that's weird, okay? I do watch the Rams with my father. I watch the Rams with my brother. I watch the Rams with my uncle. I watch the Rams with my best friend, who I literally turned into a Rams fan. If he's watching this, he knows it. So it's hard for me to commit to doing a watch party during the game, because I like having that moment with, you only get it so many times a year. So I do like watching with my family. I like watching with my best friend. But I do have a Patreon, Clash. I can drop that. But what I want to ask you guys, because the Rams is a little hard. I can do the pregame, I can do the postgame. Watch party's a little difficult because of the way I watch the games. But what I'll say is, if you guys are interested, we can do watch parties for primetime games. Not necessarily Rams games, but primetime games. Would you guys be interested in that? I'll just put the primetime game on right over there. You guys can't see my TV, but it's right there. Or I'll put it up there, because I'll have a TV hanging there soon. And I'll watch the game, and we'll just have conversation. Basically what we can do, it's like an extension of our post-game coverage for the Rams. And I don't know. What do you guys think? Because I think I'm leaning towards that. I'd do a watch party of Loki, by the way, but it comes on at 3, and that's just not happening. Primetime games, yes, okay. Because I do record the podcast. So keep this in mind, is I had the live stream, and I record the podcast. So that is, that'll be a little tough. But if I did like the second half of every primetime game, I went live, you guys would be down for that? Because I'll do it. Cool. Awesome. And you guys know my live streams, they're pretty open. Like we'll talk about whatever, you know, I answer any sort of question. I start with a topic, then I finish the topic, go off the rails, answer your questions, go off the rails during your questions, and then somehow we end up with the MCU where we talk about horror movies, and it's a great time. Also goes to show you how down to earth I am. Like, someone, it was funny. I got a comment the other day, and the guy said that I act like I'm 10 foot tall and bulletproof, and I'm like, well, I understand, but like I'm like, man, dude, if I saw you at a bar, I'd probably buy you a drink and just like talk it up with you, like like as easygoing as it could be, like. And I can't wait to meet some of you this year because I'm going to the Giants-Rams game. I'm actually going to the Steelers-Broncos game with my cousin. That's what I have planned on the docket right now. We'll see how many I can go to. Would like to go to more games. I also really do like watching at home because I do love the broadcast view of football. I also love the All-22 view of football. I also don't really enjoy any other sport right now except for hockey. Basketball pains me, although I still watch it every now and then, and baseball just has me just losing my mind because, like I've said before, they're like strip searching pitchers on the mound, and I'm so over like the whole pitcher thing. Like, the dude's the worst commissioner in all of sports. Like, I wish he would just give it a rest. Thanks, Christian. Yeah, I'm really excited. I couldn't imagine doing a live stream. I'm a whole maniac watching my squad. Yeah, that's why I think I'll veer away from doing it during the Rams game, and we'll do, you know, a watch party during the primetime games, second half at the very least. Rams Jags game, maybe I'll go. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. What is Tutu doing? Tutu, no. Oh, Clash, sorry. I was going to drop the... I got to figure out what I'm doing with the Patreon. I just didn't really get anybody doing that. I also have merch if anybody's interested too. I don't know if I posted that link in my description, but I do have that. Yeah, so the Patreon, I don't even think is on here. Yeah, I'm not even thinking on here. I think I just gave up on it. I have one though. It exists. But I also have a channel membership here if anybody wants to join. There's all sorts of exclusive stuff with the channel membership. So yeah. That, of course, I don't even know what I'm doing there. Copying and pasting that. That's just not what I was trying to do. Yeah, because like the best way to put it is like when people ask me like are you begging right now? And I'm like, no, I'm not begging. But if anybody wants to support the channel, you like what you see, you want to help me one step closer to going full time on this thing, then I'm more than appreciative of that, you know? So that's the best way I can put it. So I always post it just in case anybody's interested. This is the membership link. You get a cool badge right next to your name. You'll probably see some of them. You'll see me. I have it, but how do you highlight names in the chat? Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, it's definitely not easy, Clash, as you know. R. Kelly says this is a pretty good stream. This is a pretty good stream, George Washington. Oh, halftime? Okay, I might do that on my phone. I could probably do it on here because I think I watch all the games here, so. Oh, let's see, 1 second. Christian, it's because you're not a mod. Now you are. How do you highlight names in the chat? I just highlighted your name. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but that's a mod. Oh my god. We are kicking butt tonight. Yeah. Man. I'm still just like blown away. I've had to take a step back and be like, damn. Like, this is literally the dead point in the offseason. It does not get more dead than this. And we were, flirting with potentially going over 100, which is amazing because I cannot imagine what the season's going to bring. So, all right. So who's going to watch Loki? Who's hyped for Loki? I'll be honest, guys. There's only 2 shows I'm watching right now religiously. That's Loki, and the other one's iCarly. Because the new iCarly is pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Thanks, Ashton. I appreciate that. Mob Squad. Oh, yeah, Ben. I got to mod you. 1 second. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate you. You've now been modded or knighted. What games you guys most excited for? The Rams-Buccaneers game is the most exciting game of the season because to me that dictates who's going to get the number 1 seed in the NFC. They curse a little bit on iCarly, which I do like. The best Rams retainer ever. Is that a joke? Like, are you making fun of my retainer? I'm messing. Best Rams returner ever is going to be the Iceman, in my opinion. Leroy Irvin. Yo, you should try doing the Zoom calls here and there with us. That would be great to get the chance to talk to you. McCoy, we don't really do Zoom, but we could do, we have the chat. I got it all figured out and everything. We have the chat, so the Discord, we have like I don't even know what I'm saying. We have voice channel on Discord, so I'll go on there from time to time. I also do spaces on Twitter. You're good, Martin. I'm messing with you. I'm kind of excited for the Rams-Ravens game. I want revenge for that horrible blowout in Marcus Peters. Yeah, God is definitely an AD stan. Let's see what our results were tonight. I know some people that like are content creators, they're like, they don't try to show results or analytics or anything. They think it's weird, but I don't know. I feel like I'm just being open to my community, you know? Let's see what we got here. Holy hell. 1,517 playbacks. God damn, you guys killed it tonight. That's nuts. Appreciate it. It was hella fun. Okay, Rams Packers, I'll agree. I'll do Discord calls again. I have it all set up. I just wasn't thinking about it. But yeah. I'll do Discord calls again. I will. Guys, make sure you check out my Loki video. I'll try to get out as soon as possible tomorrow, but I have to, of course, see it first, and then, so we'll probably do, I don't know, I'll record it during lunch and then try to get it out ASAP. But yeah, the Loki video, the At some point, I'm going to do a Lester Hayes video because he belongs in the Hall of Fame. Should probably do Harold Jackson, too, because he belongs in the Hall of Fame. I've kind of soured on Swift a little bit. I don't know. I like Jamal Williams. Watch out for Jamar Jefferson. Best vision in the draft for a running back. All right, we drop below 50, so you know the rules. No, I'm kidding. I don't have any rules, but I am getting tired. I want to be on my best game. I love you guys so much. I want to make sure I'm always at my best. So I'm starting to fall off a little bit because I'm getting, tired. But what you doing for a living after NFL content? Basically what I'm doing for a living is I work for a window shade manufacturer and I do customer service calls for them. So I take about 40 to 60 calls a day. And yeah, as you can see, I definitely want to do this full time. I want to get away from all of that. But like I said, it's not going to happen overnight. Like I know that. So, but yeah, I figured that this ended up being my passion. I didn't expect it to. I thought it was a means, I thought it was more of an extension of my content. And then it actually became, my content. Man, water just tastes so much better when you're thirsty. You're a probation officer in Dallas. Damn. A lot of Cowboy fans. That's pretty cool, though. Man. I think it's pretty cool. God had recognized AD. Oh, and just like that, don't call it a comeback because we're back over 50. Damn. Wow, you guys blow me away. If anybody remembers, we were talking about, and I'm gonna hang it up here soon, but if anyone remembers, we were talking about horror movies the last time I was doing this live stream. And I mentioned, because someone asked me, I forget who asked me exactly. I feel bad. It was Frankie something. I don't remember exactly. But someone asked me what my favorite 3 horror movies were. And I actually gave an honorable mention to a cult classic. And by cult classic, I mean it just recently became that. The Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. And it was crazy because I had mentioned that, and then the next day, one of my favorite YouTubers, Dead Meat, James A. Janice runs that account, drops a kill count about Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. And I'm like, dude, this movie, there's like a billion horror movies out there, and he drops the one that I was talking about on the stream. And no, I'm not inquiring or saying the idea that James A. Janice, who has 5 million subscribers, was watching my small YouTube stream. But hey, if he was, that'd be pretty cool. Oh, God, I hate Fast and the Furious so much. I hate those movies. I don't know why. I just hate them. I found out they're making a 10th one. I'm like, but mainly because they're the ones that they generate all that money, and if whether you like it or not. And look, I'm going to admit that I'm kind of a hypocrite in this regard, because you'll hear what I'm saying and you'll understand, because liking Fast and the Furious is one thing, but when you're constantly going and going and going and supporting those movies, essentially what that tells Hollywood is that you just want to see sequels. And so that's why we stopped getting these original movies. And so it's always remakes or renditions of 1930s films. And that's not a shot at Invisible Man because, by the way, that movie is freaking awesome, but that's what it's come to. I mean, think about it. I'm excited as hell for Halloween Kills, right? I'm excited as hell for the Spider-Man sequel, No Way Home. I'm excited as hell for the Candyman reboot. But what are you noticing here? But when we get an original idea like A Quiet Place, look, like we got a sequel out of that, but look at how awesome that was. So it's just it's a bummer that, and I'm part of it because I love the MCU and I love crossovers and things like that, but it's a bummer that we can't really, it's like we don't really, I don't know. We kind of take film for granted because we'll watch Fast and Furious and we'll go and we'll keep watching all these sequels. And basically what that does is it just tells Hollywood, okay, so they only like sequels. So we don't have to try anymore. We don't have to make any more original content. The guys in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s paved the way for us. We have all the content we want. We're just going to keep putting out reboots and remakes. I actually did a podcast episode on this with Alexis doing the halftime show. And we talked about this. And this is actually a concern of mine, is that the film industry is just too dominated right now, with sequels and reboots, and it scares the hell out of me because, like, where's the original content coming from, So, I mean, spinoffs are one thing. I think spinoffs are still original. While they come from a source, they're still their own thing. But when you're talking about having a 10th, exactly, Christian, they're taking the easy way out. When you're talking about a 10th Fast and Furious movie, that's just obnoxious. I mean, like the Jason movies were ridiculous too. Jason Goes to Mars. Like, I mean, and honestly, those movies sucked, if you ask me. Jeepers Creepers, besides the fact the guy's a convicted pedophile that made that movie, and I hate that movie, they made a bunch of sequels that no one asked for. There's a ton of Halloween sequels. Now, it's a little different with that because they had all different directors. They had all different, like the original guy that, I don't know, the original guy that maintained Halloween had the rights to it or whatever. Like, it just went through all different things. But I think it's a genuine concern, though, with all these sequels and, these reboots and remakes. Because you can only reboot something so many times. It's just before it gets so boring. Thank you, Rammer. Appreciate you. Yeah. I don't know what you guys' thoughts on that are. I don't know if you agree with me, but that's just kind of how I feel. Well, that's another thing, is that the Marvel Universe they're a well-oiled machine. No one is touching them, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because they've been building this for 20 years. This isn't something you can build overnight. DC tries to build it overnight. They can't. And, it's unfortunate. Like, honestly, I don't even mind people building movies off of games. Like, I don't mind that. But, like, to me, that is somewhat original because the Uncharted video game turning into a movie, sign me up for that. That's not a reboot, that's not a remake, and it's not a sequel. It has not come to the silver screen yet. But, you get into making 10 of a movie, rebooting Batman for the 4th time, rebooting Spider-Man after Tom Holland. I mean, it gets old. So, I think the MCU's done an amazing job. Over 20 years, they've been building this, and they've done so well. They've set themselves up. Marvel set themselves up, Marvel Studios, to get bought out by Disney. Oh, Disney owns Marvel. And they've done just a nice job of, trying to orchestrate a deal with Sony to get Spider-Man in the MCU. They've done it the right way. And so, for that reason, I don't worry about the MCU as much, but you know, it's like if you have more Fast and Furious movies, like, I mean, you know, how many Transformers movies are they making? I know they're now like rebooting another one. Like, it's like, I don't know, man. I can't follow. And that's another thing. So, how the hell can you watch 10 Fast and Furious movies? I know only 9 have come out. How the hell can you watch 9 Fast and Furious movies and tell me which one's your favorite? How the hell do you remember? Like, how the hell do you remember? Because, I mean, you know, if there were 10 Iron Man movies, I wouldn't remember what my favorite was. Ari Aster is such a good horror director. I mean, I didn't like Midsummer was entertaining, but freaky as all hell. And it was not my favorite. I gave it like a 7.2 out of 10 or whatever. But I will say Hereditary was nuts. And that was also very morbid and crazy, but that was a better movie. It was shot extremely well. I wouldn't say it was as good as the movie because I just saw Hereditary. I just saw Midsummer last week. I saw Hereditary this week, and I saw The Invisible Man. Elizabeth Moss in The Invisible Man is amazing, and The Invisible Man is one of the best movies I've seen in quite some time. It's a very good movie. It's filmed incredibly well. The cinematography is amazing. They do all sorts of crazy stuff that you saw, you know, Christopher Nolan's Batman. I mean, you know, but I think we need a new blockbuster horror slasher movie. Yeah. I'm just hoping we don't get a multiverse of slashers because I feel like that's probably what's coming. It's probably what's coming next. I don't need to see Jason and Michael all in the same universe. I just need to, you know, what I liked about Leslie Vernon is that came from a whole new picture. It was original, and it came from the idea that Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, and Freddy Krueger were all in a universe together. We didn't have to see them. They basically just said that, you know, Leslie Vernon was trying to become them. Like, he was, you know, he had a reporter who was filming him, following him around, and like knowing that he was going to kill people. And honestly toes the line of how far do you go as a reporter when you know something is morally wrong? Do you keep following the story or do you intervene? Just thought it was great. And then the awesome thing about it is it's a horror comedy. And horror comedy is honestly maybe the best genre when done correctly. Like, I mean, there are times where Leslie literally points out and he's like, so that's the final girl there. And this girl, like, and this is the guy, and they're going to go there. And then, like, he's just setting it all up. And I don't know, I just really enjoyed that type of horror vibe or whatever. Another horror comedy, in a way, was Jennifer's Body. You know, everybody knows Megan Fox, that she was huge in Transformers. That was taking advantage of her role in Transformers after the fact. A ton of sex appeal for that movie, which is weird because it really... I think it was kind of misguided, but you know. But yeah, I mean, I just saw Jennifer's Body again pretty recently, and that was interesting. It's still weird. I heard the director's cut is way better than theatrical. Oh yeah, Nolan. Midsummer is about a cult, and yeah, like Christian said, I'm not gonna say any more about that, but definitely check it out, and then watch Hereditary. They're both made by the same guy. But the market is also unpredictable. I'm subscribed to a channel that he made a short film for his subscribers that they were asking for and nobody watched. Sometimes you get why they take easy cash. True. It's a movie about a cult. Yeah. Okay, I saw it. Jennifer's Body, great movie. Oh, fun fact. You know who's in Jennifer's Body? Chris Pratt. I thought that was funny. Chris Pratt is uncredited in Jennifer's Body. He's in the bar scene before the fires comes and everything. But yeah, he's in the bar scene very quickly. I gotta see more horror movies, and you guys really have to subscribe if you like horror. You have to subscribe to Dead Meat. And again, I highly recommend. It's not a horror movie, but I highly recommend watching The Invisible Man. I agree. I think paranormal works, and I think it doesn't. Yeah, when you combine demon and slasher, that's kind of cool. What I'll say is that I don't know. In my opinion, the best horror movie ever made was the remake of it, which kind of contradicts what I've been saying about remakes. But that remake was done so well, and I didn't like the original. I did not like the Tim Curry original. And I did not see the new Conjuring, so I have to see that. So thank you for reminding me. You love paranormal / demon? It really depends, if it's done right, it's fine. I mean, I don't think anything was done better as far like demon wise than what is it called? I totally forgot the name of it. The one with Ghoul. Sinister. There we go. Oh yeah, the Karen movie looks stupid as all hell. They just took Pennsatucky from Orange is the New Black and made her a Karen. It's dumb. I saw The Hunt, by the way. You guys ever see that? The movie that like the Democrats and Republicans wanted banned. Like literally government officials would not allow it to go in theaters. It's a good movie. I mean, it's not a great movie, but I like the concept of it. Sinister is one of my absolute favorites. It's done perfectly. It's done absolutely perfect. Johnny Hecker's the best punter of all time, in my opinion, Martin. Do you see Sinister 2? I know there was going to be a Sinister 3, but I think the studio shut it down. I don't think it's happening now, which is a darn shame. Yeah. That's true. Kids' meals, that's true. It's never a good sign when you see like you searching Google is Sinister 3 happening, and then it comes up, why Sinister 3 never happened by Screen Rant. Oh god. That's not what I want to see. A TV show is in the works, apparently. Well, this one says in the works, this one says is off the table, this one says is possible. I don't know what to say. I guess it's not happening. That's a bummer. It's another one of those Blumhouse movies where, I mean, Blumhouse, you guys already know my thoughts on them. Oh, I don't remember Cabin in the Woods. I feel like I didn't like it, but I don't really remember it all that well. I cannot remember. I think I liked it. The only anime I watch is Dragon Ball. It's the only. I can't get into anything else. Yeah, the pitch meeting video for Game of Thrones was amazing. No, Christian, I love Blumhouse. I think they're the best. They're the best horror movie producers out there. publishers, whatever you want to call them. I don't even think it's close at this point. Everything Blumhouse puts out seems to be fire, except for Insidious. I've never liked Insidious. I know I said it last time. I'll say it again. Spider Darth Maul did not do anything for me. Happy Death Day, though. If you guys haven't seen Happy Death Day, it's like a combination of Groundhog Day, but it's like a horror vibe to it. Happy Death Day 2U was really good. And Happy Death Day 3 looks like it is coming out. Not like anytime soon, but they're planning on a third. I hated Insidious. I thought it was stupid. Yo, who plays the girl in Happy Death Day? She has some weird name. I forget the name of it, but it's like Cricket or something. I don't remember her name. Thank you, Adolfo. Appreciate you. Okay. Happy Death Day. Character. Oh, Tree. That was her name. That's played by Jessica Roth. She was so good in that, but I've never seen her in anything else. Is she like new? She was in Valley Girl. I don't know what Valley Girl is. How old is Jessica Roth? Like, she was really good in Happy Death Day. She's 34. She's hardly been in movies. I don't know. Oh, she was in Mary Plus Jane MTV comedy. That's why. A lot of actors and actresses just stick with they just stick with TV. No, Shannon, I don't. Break down Spider Darth Maul for me. The Babadook Spider Darth Maul. Remember that scene at the end of Insidious with that red thing? It's Spider Darth Maul. No one can tell me otherwise. Oof. Oh, God. Guys, it's been a just blast talking with you. It's funny, I initially expected it to go, I thought it was going to go pretty well. Like, I thought I'd get like around like, 30 viewers, and then I thought I'd just switch over to gaming. But we just kept chatting the whole night. JE Live. Spider Darth Maul. Yeah, right? It Follows. I'm going to check that out. So yeah, guys, do me a favor. If you like this, be sure to like it. Once it's done, if you could comment, that does help the algorithm. Like, not comment in the chat, because for whatever reason, they never put that in the actual comments. But, once it becomes a video, if you could put that in the comment section, that would be amazing. Subscribe if you haven't already. And on top of that, I know I'm asking you to do like everything, but be sure to check out the Discord. That's all I got for you guys. So I'm going to head out here. I'm just going to drop the Discord link. Just bear with me one sec. If anyone wants to become a member of the channel, you can do that as well. But hey, appreciate you guys so much. It's been a blast talking with you. I just know I need to get going, because if I don't, I'm going to continue talking all night, and then I'm not going to be able to sleep, and then I'm going to stay up to watch Loki at 3 a.m., and then we know what happens then. So, see, I'm not the only one, bro. Spider Darth Maul was a thing, and there's people having that connection. Like, we all have, all of us as kids, no matter what anyone says, all of us as children are all telepathically connected, because how else would you think the floor It's not like everyone's imagination is the same, but yet everyone played that game. The floor is lava. Am I wrong? Oh, man. You guys kill me. I kind of want to wait now until I get... You take it easy too, Martin. All right. Jake out.